Hey everybody, tonight I'm going to be doing stuffed shells and I'm going to be using my homemade sofrito. I will put the link to my sofrito down below in the description box so you'll know how to prepare it yourself. And I'm going to show you now how I prepare the shells right here. I fill up a pot of water and I wait until it starts to boil. It's gonna start to boil any second. I'm gonna add salt. I'm gonna be using sea salt. This is what I'm gonna be using, sea salt. And I'm also gonna be adding some oil so that the noodles, the shells, or the pasta, whatever you want to call it, does not get stuck with each other. So they will be loose and easy to handle when you're going to prepare them. So, okay, you add the amount of salt that you like. And now you add the oil. I'm going to add a cupful of oil. That should be good. And that's it, guys. I'm just going to let it boil. And then I will add the pasta or the shells. I have here 3 pounds of meat, but I'm only going to be using 2 because I'm not going to be making a lot. So I'm just going to be preparing 2 pounds of meat. The rest of the meat I will season for something else. I'll save it for something else. Alright, so for every pound of meat, you add 1 packet of sazon, Goya. Since it's 2 pounds, I will be adding 2 little envelopes, or 2 little packets of the sazon Goya. Now I will add some adobo. You add the adobo to your liking. I'm going to add a little bit of oregano. You add the amount that you like also. Now, I just made a fresh batch right here of my sofrito. And this is what was left over from the batch that I did. So I'm going to add you add like 2 of these. I'm going to show you. You add 2 of these. And you mix it all up. The sofrito has green peppers, onions, garlic, little baby tomatoes, Italian tomatoes. It has olive oil. It has a little bit of vinegar to it. It has the sweet peppers, the sweet baby, the mini peppers. Anyway, I will put the link to my sofrito, like I said earlier, so that you'll know how to prepare it to make your meat. It is a special cooking base, a Puerto Rican cooking base that you can use on everything, on soups, beans, rices, chicken, stews, your meat like this, soups, your beans, everything. So anyway, I'm gonna let it cook. I'm gonna let it cook for like 15 minutes. And I'm gonna cover it right now, and then I'll get back to you. And that's Aura cracking her eggs. Say hi.
Hi.
She just cracked the eggs. Those 3 eggs up there for the ricotta cheese. All right, Mama. Thank you so much. No.
1 more.
1 more? You want to do 1 more? Okay, 1 more egg. It's supposed to be 3, but I'm going to let this one go because she likes to crack eggs. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, now while the meat is cooking in its own juices, I didn't add any oil at all because it will cook in its own juices. So I'll just leave it alone. I never add oil. So I'm gonna let it cook. I'll cover it while I do the pasta. I'm gonna be using 2 boxes of pasta. 2 boxes, 2 boxes. And I'm just gonna let it cook there. Let it boil until they are soft. It usually takes about maybe 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and then they're done. I'm gonna add a little bit more water because it looks like it might need some water. So I'm just gonna fill it up a little bit more. Okay, I filled it up, I covered it up, and I'm just gonna let it boil for about 10 minutes. And if it gets dry, I will just add more water until I will keep, adding water until it is cooked. Now I'm gonna show you how I do my ricotta. As you already saw Aura do it, she added 3 eggs. Okay, there's 3 eggs, and there's 3 pounds of ricotta cheese. You add it in there, and then you use mozzarella cheese, which you will grate some cheese. Thank you. You will grate. I'm gonna use this is, how many pounds is this? This is a pound. I'm gonna be using a pound of mozzarella cheese because basically this is just to be sprinkled. I use half for the ricotta cheese, and this other half I'm gonna save to sprinkle on it on top. So I'm gonna be grating this. Alright, so I finished already grating all the cheese. So basically what you do now is you just mix it all up. You just mix it all up. Sorry, I only have one hand right now. My camera girl left me. She'll be back. Anyway, I'm gonna mix it all up now, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so now the ricotta cheese is mixed up. This is what it's supposed to look like. Now, I will put the link to a better better quality video of how I make this, okay? So I'll put the link down below in the description box. And for those of you who are a little picky about eggs and stuff like that you don't like eggs is very important to this recipe, because if you don't add eggs, the ricotta cheese will just collapse. It'll just get too watery. It'll just make a mess, and you're not gonna like that. So the eggs will absorb all of the water from the cheese as it's cooking. So I highly recommend that you use 3 eggs for 3 pounds, for every 3 pounds of ricotta cheese that you work with. So there you go. Now what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be grating the other half of the cheese. This part goes on top, will be sprinkled on top of the stuffed shells when it's done. Okay, now with the ricotta cheese already done and the mozzarella cheese already grated and everything, now you go check, sorry about that guys, now you go check up on the meat, and the meat should be done. It took 15 minutes to cook. It took 15 minutes to cook. Every once in a while it's cooking, you go check up on it. You stir it the way I'm stirring it, and making sure that it doesn't get burned or dried up or anything like that. And make sure that it's not lumpy, that it looks more or less like this. So this is done, and all the juices are dried. It's dried up, so there's really not much to drain. But if there's any leftover juice, oh, over here there's some. then you just drain it. Okay? Just make sure you drain all of the juices, all of the oil from the meat before you start stuffing your shells with it. All right, this is done. It took 15 minutes to do, guys. 15 minutes. And the pasta will be done in about another 5 minutes. All right, after about 20 minutes of the pasta being cooked, you turn it off. It's already done. The meat took 15 minutes to do, and the pasta took 20 minutes to do. So now at this point, you put the oven at 375. You set it to preheat, and it takes about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes for it to be heated up. And then you put it in the oven for about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. All right, at this point, after 20 minutes of it being boiled in hot water with salt and oil, 20 minutes, I am going to drain it. And once you drain it, you add cold water to it. Okay, now I drained it all. I drained it. Now I'm going to put it under cold water. And once it cools off, sorry about the mess. Oh, I should have washed. I was multitasking. I was doing my sofrito and I was doing everything else. So anyway, I'm going to fill this up with cold water. And I'm going to let it cool off for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to start working with it. Alright, so now once the shells are cooled off and you can handle them without getting burned, then you take a tray and you take your favorite spaghetti sauce. I'm going to be using ragu, and I'm going to put a layer of sauce in the bottom, a thin layer. Then I am going to take a shell and I'm going to keep it open like this, and I'm going to take the ricotta cheese mixture, and I'm going to stuff it. Then I'm going to take the meat and I'm going to add some meat to it. Close it up and put it down. I'm going to take another shell, take a tablespoon of the ricotta cheese mixture, some meat, close it up, and put it down. And I will continue to do so, the same pattern, until it's done, until the whole thing is done. That's it. Alright, so once you have the first layer down, you take the ragu sauce or whatever sauce you're using, whatever spaghetti sauce you're using, and just add just a little bit to each one of them. And then you continue on doing the same thing that you did to get your first layer. You keep stuffing your shells. And that's it. I'm going to continue doing it now. Okay, I'm done already with stuffing the pasta, so the shells. This is my last layer. So now is when I'm getting ready to put it in the oven. Now, so it won't burn, you add a layer of cheese. That's why I grated the cheese. There goes the cheese, and you just add a layer of cheese over it. And there you go, guys. That's it. Now you put it in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on your stove. Now just a little bit more cheese. I mean sauce. I'm gonna be honest, I have a little headache right now, so I'm not thinking straight somewhat. Alright, so that's it, and I'm gonna put it in the oven now at 375 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour. Alright, it's been 45 minutes and it's done. So what I do now is I don't serve it right away. I wait like 15 minutes for it to cool off, because if you attempt to do it now, it's going to be just sloppy. It's going to fall apart. So wait for it to cool off for about 15 minutes and then you can serve. Alright, after 15 minutes, you serve. It's done. This is the end result. Leave your comments below if you make yours a little different from mine. If you have any suggestions, any ideas, please leave your comments below. And thank you for watching, guys. God bless. I love you. Bye-bye.